It's been a while since my last video, but I'm excited to return with a brand new video on church flyer design in Photoshop. At the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 proven secrets nobody will tell you in church flyer design, and you can't afford to miss the third point. Hello, I'm Eken the Precious from PG Clicks. Welcome to the channel. In this channel, we make video like this. If that sounds something that you are interested, consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up. So when you launch your Photoshop, this is what you are going to see. This is what you are going to see. This is the first interface you are going to see. So we go to the new file. Then under new file, you're going to use 3000 by 3000 pixels. Leave the resolution at 1000, everything 16 bits, everything just leave it like that, no GB, because it is mainly for internet flyer designing. You click on create. Then when you have done this, you import your rulers. So the first point you need to consider as a graphic designer, the first secret you need to know about church flyer, one, is your background. It is your background that tells what the design is for. It is your background that depicts what message you want to show to your audience. So whenever you are doing a flyer design, it is your background that differentiates church flyer, social media flyer, and every other things. So in this church flyer, you need to make sure that you give a background that will depict what the message you intend to project in this flyer design. Right, so let's bring in our backgrounds and so that we can start up stuff. So these are the stuffs, these are the tutorial, these are the resources we are going to use. So for you to gain access to these resources, you just need to go to the link in this video. It's a link that will be posted in this video. Just go there, you see a link that will direct you to my WhatsApp. So from my WhatsApp, you gain access to our YouTube WhatsApp community, where we share things, where we share the next video we are going to be creating. And when you've been added there, you'll be added to our Telegram channel, where you are going to have access to all the resources that we use in this tutorial. All right, so when you have imported this background, the next thing you are going to do is to blur it. This is the first. If you have been following me, this is the first thing I do. I will make sure I work on my background because it's the first thing you need to have in mind. So after you have done this, let me import another background, because this thing is serving as a solid layer. All right, you bring another one. That's why people tell me I should give them the exact background that I use in this tutorial. I don't. You will not see it in any place because I manipulate my backgrounds. All right. So having done this, the next thing you're going to do now is to bring your eraser tool and clear some parts of this. Why we are doing this, so that it will not really reflect on the background, because mainly the thing we want to use is this light stuff that is at the top. After you have done that, then you are going to blur this also. You can see it, you can blur this also. So after you have done it, the next thing you are going to do now is to you're going to draw something here. So that this background stuff will be very tight and okay. Then you come to your brush, increase your brush size. Then from filter, we are still working on the background. That's why I take time to work on my background. because when you work on your background, everything will look good. So you can see that I'm done with this one. This one is just the first stage. So the next thing you are going to do now is to bring in there is a man with this sofa, because the team of, if you can see from this design, there is a man that you are seeing in the overlay of the background. You can see there's a man there. So we are going to import it now. So you first of all keep your, your stuff in this first layer. So you go to place embedded again, so that we can you can bring in this man. To change the blending mode to soft light and make the opacity to be that kind 40 something, just make it 46, so that we can be seeing it, because the sound of summons, because it's mainly for a man that is trying to alert the sense. Right. So after I've done that, the next thing I'll do now is to elongate this, is to drag this so that to cover here. Now after I've done this, the next thing I'll do now is to bring in the man of God that we are using in this tutorial. So that will take us to the next secret, which is the editing of the pictures. If you want me to do a tutorial on how to edit picture like a pro from the scratch, you can drop that on my comment section. Just comment, sir, I want a tutorial on how we can edit pictures from the scratch. Drop it on my comment. I will get back to that and do it as soon as possible. So after you have done this, there are things you need to have in mind. We want the picture of the man of God to also blend with the background. This is why you need to have this sense of editing picture, not literally like the photographers, at least to make sure that you give the picture an artistic feel in your flyer design. So this is what we are going to do. We go to filter, from filter, camera raw. What we are doing this is to make sure that we give this picture this artistic feel. So let's wait for it. It's loading. So just come down here, come to basics. What we are going to be interested there now is just clarity. The clarity, and again we come to details and the sharpening. This is what we'll be interested. Then you come to saturation, just like that. We are good to go. Now, having done this, there are things you need to do to lead us to color grading. If you don't want to use the color grading in the camera raw effect, so this is the way you can color grade and color balance your picture with the background. So I'll use this to first of all use saturation to remove the color the picture is having already. Then I'll come to color balance. Now this color balance, I'll give it red, I'll give it yellow, I'll give it a little bit of green under the mid-tones. Now I'll come to the highlight and give it red and give it yellow. You can see that the picture is blending with the background. Then I'll come to the shadow and give it red and give it yellow. You can see now it is blending together with the background. So that's it. After you have done that, just hold your shift and click on this one Click on the man of God picture and right click and convert to smart object. After you have done that, the next thing you need to do now is to start work on your typography and how you can place your font and every other thing. So due to time, I don't want to waste you guys time. I'll be carrying every font and every other thing that we typed here to bring in here. But another place I'm going to put more attention is how I was able to make this feel like the sounds of summons. Then this rectangle that you see here, whatever other thing, I will just carry it and come over. All right, so I haven't done this. You create another layer that is nothing in it, then bring in your stuff here. Why we are doing this is to make sure that contrast is well observed, so that all these things that we're going to base on this, we can read it very effectively. So having done this, you go to filter, go to blur and blur it. Have you seen it? After you have done it, after you have blurred this, what you are going to do next is to change it to hard light. Have you seen it? It's okay here. And the next thing we are going to do now is to start typing the stuffs. I'll fast forward this video. So let me take my time and type it. Then at the end of the day, I will fast forward the video for all of us. From bringing this one, you just have to come here. You right click on it, select inverse, and convert to smart object. So then let's start typing these stuffs. We're going to change the logo color so that everything will blend very well. To color overlay. In that case, we are going to reduce it. So let us bring in this stuff I use here. Then hold your shift and drag this in here. Hold your shift. Just make sure that you're holding your shift. And hold shift and click on this on the window conference, then centralize it and align it. So that's for this one. We need to reduce this anticipate. And the next work now is on this text. This text, we are going to work on it now. I want to work on it now. Then right click on it, go to blending option. We are going to use gradient fill here on this one. This gradient fill, they already been set in your Photoshop. Just go to gray and select anyone that will fit what you want, and go. It's okay like this. Then you come to stroke, leave it at 3. Then come to drop shadow. That's where we do the magic, so that you see how I was able to do this stuff. We need to do this one also, so that you can know how the shadow is going to be. Go to option, blending mode. Now, since you have done this like this, you want to bring this one up. Then I'm going to work on the shadow, so that the shadow will be real. Shadow is going to be real. Now you are seeing it from here. Are we seeing it? So this is how to do this one. Then after you have done this, next thing we are going to do now, let's bring this one down. This August 2024 is the same fill I used. So what I'll do is just to go to the gradient fields again and give it that same gradient fill I did for Sounds of Summons. And this one, what you're going to do now is to bring in a rectangle. Then under property, under here, under the stroke, we'll leave it as white. We're going to reduce this and make it 50. And 50 is too much. 20. And we can manage 20. I have done this. Let's go back to property again and increase the pixels, the stroke, sorry. And this is okay. Just Ctrl J again. Under here now, go to properties, no stroke. Under fill, leave it as white. Come to layers, then come to opacity, reduce it. This is how I got that effect. Then right click on this and create clipping marks. Have you seen how I got that? Then go shift and click on this rectangle. I click on it and convert it to smart object. After you have done that, you bring with light up. Once I bring it, just change the color of this with light to white. And hold shift. Have you seen it? This one is now settled. So after you have done this now, you can see everything is aligned. So after I have done this like this, the next thing we are going to do now is to come down and highlight this. Just hold this stuff and come to here and hold on shift and press on Ctrl T. What we're going to do is to rotate it. You see how I was able to rotate that. And scale it again. So this was how I was able to run that stuff. So if you are here till now, another secret you need to know. This is the last secret you need to know so that you will not make mistake. Is to check your spellings. Yes. To check your spellings and alignment. This is when you check everything if they are in check. If they are in check, to check where you made mistake in the spellings. And these inquiries, you watch if there are words that are missing. There are words that are missing there. So this is when you check everything, check your spellings. This last part. So Haven't done this now, the next thing you're going to do now is to start bringing in the, the, the light stuffs. This is when you start bringing in the light stuff, lens flare, to fine tune, to make the stuff look beautiful, make everything look real. So after you have rotated this one, let's make it screen. From this side, just Ctrl J. Under here, we are going to blur this. Have you seen it? And another Ctrl J. Under here, you reduce the opacity. You can see how the stuff is now. And the final stuff that you need to do, the final go you need to do now is you can watch here now. See this thing now. Have you seen how everything is being placed? So if I'm to put this now, that's what I call overlays. You can see it now. This overlays is what I use in making the work look nice. Let me import it. So what this overlays does is to give the texture of the design that shiny feels. Let me show you guys what I mean. Screen. So you can see how the thing is now. You can see that texture feel in the body. So after you have done this now, we are going to highlight everything that we have done. And there was a question that one of my students asked in our WhatsApp community based on the camera raw. What of the people that don't have camera raw? Is there a way that they can edit this stuff so that it will look outstanding, that feel of a camera raw? I told him yes, it is possible. So I'm going to do for you two stuff that you can use. After you have duplicated, you now merge it, Ctrl E. Let's wait. So in this stage now, I'm going to do two stuffs that will help you out for your picture for your design to have that feel. So like this now, let me just duplicate this one so that this one now you come here. So for comment, since you don't have camera raw, you can use this one. You can level it. Have you seen it? It will give you that feel. It will give you that feel. This is the way you can do that. It will give you that feel. If you don't want to use leveling, you can use another this color balance stuff. Come to highlight tones. This is where you just set a little stuff just to make sure that everything is balanced. Have you seen it? But you must be careful on how you use those sides. If you don't want to use color balance, you can use level. If you don't want to use this, if you don't want to use camera raw, but camera raw is the best. So that's the way you can do those things if you don't have camera raw in your Photoshop version. So that's the way you can do that. But I'm going to show you, our normal way, what we do in our in our in our in camera raw. After we have done this, we'll come to details. Come to basics. You can see how the design is now. That's how the design is now. Thank you so much for sticking around till now. I still remain Kendo Precious, your coach. If you have not subscribe, like this video, share with your friends. I will see you in my next video, and God bless you.